What's going on, everybody? How y'all feel tonight, man? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You already know what time it is, man. It's your man, Clarence Brown, host of the Male Translations Podcast. You see the sign. So, Wednesday night, not Tuesday night. You know, normally we go live on Tuesday night, myself and Pastor Doja, and we, have our podcast topics. We go over various things. Y'all already know, man. Y'all rock with us every Tuesday night. Wanted to sit in, man, and just chop it up about the event we're having this Friday night. So everybody that's tuned in right now, man, real quick, man, let me know where y'all at. Let me know who y'all are. Let me know that y'all tapped in, man, real quick, man. Let me know how y'all are feeling out there before we get started. Just wanted to, like I say, man, just tap in with y'all tonight because, of course, like I told y'all past 4 weeks, man, having an event called Battle of the Sexes, man, relationship debate. Now, some of you guys might have gone to a couple of my, things in the past where I kind of, would set up a spot at a restaurant. We would be in the back room or we'd have a table. Normally the restaurant, literally it was IHOP, not even, I'm not going to hold you, right? So I used to host them at IHOP, man. I'll put something up on Facebook, say, hey, man, everybody come on out, man. We're going to do a live taping of the podcast. You guys know the Male Translations Podcast. I'm posting videos every day, relationship content, breaking down the difference of what men say and women hear, which is something I definitely believe we need in our community, especially when we talking about Black folks, Black men, Black women, Black love in general. You know what I mean? It's much needed. And especially, having a male perspective alongside a female's perspective and kind of going back and forth on how we see things in relationships is good. So I would say, man, I would have something outside of, where I am now, my home studio, so to speak, and, invite a lot of you guys out, man. Y'all always hit me in the street. I see people come, when they see me from back in the day, or, I meet up with some people that I might run across, and they like, oh, man, I see you doing your thing, Clarence, with the podcast. Hey, you need to have me on there. Number one thing I get, right? I've been doing this podcast since 2016, right? So, a mentor told me, say, people going to know who you are over time based upon what you do over time. And so I had so many people say, hey, man, I see you doing your thing with the podcast. I got something to say. Put me on there. Listen, let me jump on and let me spit my whole little piece, right? So that's what sprung the idea to say, hey, you know what? Let me create an opportunity for people to do that. So like I said, I will host these come togethers, these sit downs where we would have discussions on 2 to 3 different topics. And all I would do is tape it, put it up on my YouTube. So what you can do if you want to check some of those videos out, man, you can go to YouTube, Male Translations Podcast. But in any event, now I want to do it again. I want to bring it back to allow people not only to be a part of the podcast, but also to share their perspective and spit whatever they got to say. So whatever you feel, whatever you experience, whatever you might have gone through, this is the time for you to be able to express that. This is the time for you to be able to say, okay, well, a lot of men had these feelings about relationships and things is going on. This is how I feel about it, right? So this opportunity, this Friday, December 3rd, you got the opportunity to be able to be a part of the podcast. I'm going to be doing it at the place, man. Pastor Doja is going to be allowing me to share the building to be able to host this event. So people, y'all come on out, man. Come on out. I'm going to have refreshments, things that's going to make your night a good night, man. Some giveaways. You already know. We love to do raffle giveaways. This is free, so you don't have to pay no cover charge. You don't have to pay to get in or nothing like that. Just come, man. It's just a come together, man. We're a family anyway. So a lot of y'all that watch the podcast are friends and family and people that are close to myself, close to my wife. So it only makes sense to say, hey, yo, let's have this sit down. Let's do something. It's Friday night, 8 p.m. Come on out and just have a good time, man. Share your opinion on some of these relationship issues because there's so many things that's disconnecting us and not enough things that's bringing us back together. So times like these where we had a conversations where we may be able to say some things that normally we wouldn't be able to say to the opposite sex. Now, you know, in a respectful way, you may be able to challenge, you know, some women or men. You may be able to, women. You may be able to challenge men on what men believe as opposed to what you believe, and some of the things you're going through and experience in relationships. Now you can get that off your chest. And ultimately, what I want is for us to come to understanding, man, because again, this doesn't normally happen. Where, you know, in our community, we have sit downs, we have these moments, but whenever we get among our friends and our closest road dogs and our peoples, all of a sudden, and that's like, we got so many things we trying to get off our chest and unload. And, you know, you got that person in your life that is that person, right? You have that person in your life that, you know, you go to say, hey, man, listen, I'm going through something. Let me hit up, you know, auntie this or uncle that or cousin Clarence or whoever the case is, right? So now, you know, like I say, for a lot of you family, friends, people that support the podcast, you got opportunity to just go ahead and say, man, I'm going to come through. I'm going to lock in with y'all, man. But not, with that being said, I still want to, of course, talk about something since I wasn't able to do the podcast yesterday, right? And what I want to really discuss real quick is just, are you willing, ladies or men, you know, are you willing to compromise a little bit with your standards and expectations? Ultimately, what I see is a lot of times as men, we are more willing to date down than women. All right, I'm going to say that again because I know a lot of y'all might disagree with that. As men, a lot of the times we are more willing to date down than women. All right. So ladies, if you all disagree with that, that's cool. Let me know. Hit that comment section, man. It's open for you. The reason why I say that is because as a man, over time, the things that we commit to, we stick with more so than women. There are women out there, ladies. Y'all will give a man a chance. But the reason why I say that you don't date down or aren't willing to date down as much as men is because over time you will say, hey, what I was able to compromise in the beginning, no longer am I able to do that. So in the end, what you may give the impression to accept, most times you say, hey, you know what? I was just putting up a front. I really just genuinely didn't like this. I was hoping that you change. I was hoping that this was going to switch up and get better. But because it hasn't, then I got to, you know, make moves to something that serves me better. Understand, but y'all got to understand when it comes to relationships and divorces, regardless, ladies, you end them for the most part. So you sometimes you could say it was because of this or because of that. If he didn't, or if he should have, if he would have done better, I wouldn't have had the feeling to leave. But the bottom line point is you step away, you leave. Thus, ultimately, you are the ones that in the relationship for whatever reason. You have your reasons. I understand. But that is the reason why I said men are more willing to date down because let's go back. Let's start from the beginning, right? What is dating down, right? And we're going to discuss topics like this. I want y'all to put those topics in the comment section. If you have some stuff you want to talk about on Friday, whether you're going to be there or not, you know, I'm taping it. I'm putting it on my podcast, on my YouTube. Please support that. It's Male Translations on YouTube. Man, I got over 300 videos already. So I've been putting in work. I put out videos every day. So you're always going to have something to keep you entertained. You know what I'm saying? We always going to give you that comedy, that insight and honesty when it comes to the male perspective on relationships. So if that's something you're interested in, Male Translations, you see it up there. Go to YouTube and check that out. But let's start from the beginning. When we men talk about the fact that we more willing to compromise and overlook certain things, and ultimately what I would say is dating down a bit than women, is because dating down, we go for the definition, it is dating below whatever your dating standard may be, right? So whatever in your mind you figure your standard based upon experience, based upon exposure to certain things that now you set as, okay, well, this is now my standard. If you are dating below that, then that's dating down, right? And it's subjective, you know what I mean? It's subjective to every person because, of course, you know, and it may offend some people because what one person may have a standard for or believe is the standard of excellence is not the same for another person, right? So course, dating down is subjective. And that's what makes it offensive sometimes to certain people. You know, you ever been in that situation where somebody, you know, think less of you, look down on you, talk down on you about something, you like, bro, like what? You know, are you like, how you gonna come at me like that when I know it's a lot of people will take me as I am, and you sitting up here trying to make this an issue, whatever that issue may be. That's because dating down is subjective to that person and what they believe dating down is. Now they're expressing it, and it may offend you, right? But I wrote down a few things that when it compares to what it looks like for the men and what it looks like for women. Let's look at what dating down look like right now. This is not the end all be all. It's only a couple things just to kind of real quick enlighten y'all while I got a few moments, you know what I mean? So for men, dating down looks like this: dating a woman with too many kids, okay? Dating a woman with a rap sheet body list, too many bodies, right? Too promiscuous, right? Is like, that's tough. You know what I'm saying? Now, why is that? Because when it comes to how he may feel, he may be respected among his peers. You know, you have certain men that say, hey, it don't matter what she did before me. Now I'm with her. That's not a big deal. That's true. There are men like that. But in the majority, not enough number to where it be what we hold as how men actually look at it, right? There are more men that look at a woman with a high rap sheet of bodies that say, oh, man, I don't really know. If especially he knows people that he's close to and respect, and that he knows has respect for him, knows her past. It doesn't represent him well. So over time, that's when we may feel like dating down. Let's move on, right? A woman who's not physically attractive, right, may lack certain features. For some guys, hey, that's dating down, right? Why? Because a man is looking for somebody, a woman that represents him well, especially physically. Even if, you know, as long as you well kept and put together, you can have certain, like, don't be so self-conscious, but yet a man wants at least for you to represent him well visually so that, you know, he feels like he can hold respect among his peers and when he goes into certain circles, right? And also a man dating a woman who is emotionally unstable, right? Stubborn mentality. What that means is, hey, it doesn't matter what he does. He's walking on eggshells because he could eventually anger you, upset you, or irritate you, disrupt you, all because you're unstable emotionally. And then there's a lot of ladies that when you get upset, you're unwilling to become involved in the recovery. So when a man is trying to say, okay, what's going on? What did I do wrong? Talk to me, let me know. Sometimes women, you shut down. Why? You expect him to know. You expect him to know what he did, or understand you, so to the point where you shouldn't have to open up and communicate, right? The key to all healthy relationships. A lot of times you're unwilling to do that, and then a man is left holding the bag. Like, well, like, how am I? Like, what I'm supposed to do? Just wait out and hope that, you know, things come around. I can't, like, you know. So those type of things are a man compromising or dating down. That's, you know, not even compromising. Just certain things that he second guesses if he should commit to, because it, in a lot of ways in his mind, is taking a loss or taking less than what he feels like is the exception that he should be going for. Right now, let's juxtapose. Let's compare that with women. Right now, of course, I'm not a woman, so I can only think of what I would believe dating down for a woman is. So I say that because, ladies, if I'm wrong, I need you to hit that comment section, right, and just say some of the things, right, what you may feel like is dating down, what you might experience, or what you actually go through. And so what that looks like for me and what women have told me is, hey, a man having limited resources, limited income, or he broke, okay, that a woman dating a man who has limited resources, who is broke, has limited income, in a lot of women's eyes, is dating down. This is why Kevin Samuels is popping off, because that topic of high value men and, you know, men of a certain income, a certain caliber connected with income, makes a woman feel like, okay, well, this is a man that is a step up, opposed to me dating down, right? A man with high debt. Right, women oftentimes like discredit men or you know, jump off the bandwagon of a man once she finds out, okay, well, dang, this is too much baggage, right? I mentioned too many kids for men. Same thing with women. Women would think of a man who has an abundance of children as dating down, because it's like, well, how significant is our child going to be? How capable are you going to be able to take care of our child, considering all the other children that you need to provide for as well, right? Dating down, in a lot of women's eyes, men, we hear it all the time, where we sometimes get vilified for this same thing, but women think of it to be completely fine to say a man with, like, 8, 9, 10 kids, like, you know what, I'm a chill on that, right? Okay, so that to me is what I hear from women say is a move as dating down when it comes to men, right? We go even deeper than that. Okay, just a man having a small manhood, right? A lot of women could be falling in love with a guy, right? A lot of women could be dating a man for months and, feeling all this chemistry, y'all connecting, vibing. He done met your children now, y'all done reached that step. And then when, sex comes into the picture, man don't measure up. All of a sudden, woman says, you know what? I can't do it. I just can't even do it, right? Now, true enough, it's whatever, guys out there, whatever, I'm not judging anyone, but what I will say is I see the judgment from women that it seemed like up until that point, it was all good. And then all of a sudden it's like, nah, I'm dating down if I accept this, right? So ultimately, the reason why I wanted to have this point, that's just a couple of things. Like I said, y'all have some additional things that y'all feel like y'all experience or that y'all go through that make you feel like you dated down, fine. But again, the reason was for me to actually do this topic is because, of course, what I see a lot of the times is women that will say, hey, you know what? I want a man on this level because I'm at this level. And dating down is dating a man who is not at the level I'm at. So a woman says, I want to do at least my level or better. Okay. Right now, the only part of that is a lot of men are trying to say, ladies, sometimes you achieve yourself out of the dating pool, right? And when it comes to black women will say, hey, we the most educated, we got the most degrees, we got the most this and that. Look at all the things that we're doing. And that's great. But what you do for survival doesn't always bode well when it comes to attracting a mate or somebody who now you're starting to blend your life with. So sometimes women will say, hey, listen, I got to take care of myself. I got to take care of my children. You know what? I got to do for myself. I'm not going to depend on a man. Great. That's fine. And so you put yourself in a position to provide very well for yourself. But when it comes to the relationship now, what end up happening is you achieve your way out of the dating pool. Because the people at your level or above are very limited, and what you recognize also is that isn't always based upon race. It's just numbers as well. Like you'll think about, hey, white men, Spanish men, Chinese guy, a black guy, a Mexican guy. Okay, we look overall. There aren't many men in general making a certain amount of income or in certain positions to where they can provide at certain levels as women or better, which is why as a man, we trying to say, hey, where's room for the guys that may not make as much as you, but still can provide a lifestyle of peace and harmony and support and provision and protection, all of these things that should matter, right? And so what it looks like to men, I don't know if it is true, but I do believe it has some strength to it, is that, hey, it's almost like you're sacrificing the character for the coins. It's like you're sacrificing the man's character, and hey, what you say, what you want out of husband material, but yet you start with the coins as a prerequisite to all of these other things. And it's like, he can be a little bit, he could be hot-headed, or he could have a short temper, and sometimes he could be disrespectful and rude. Okay, fine, but I'm gonna accept that because he started at this level, and for me, that was like, okay, a barrier of entry that made me feel like, you know what, I'll overlook certain things, right? And okay, I hear the women out there will say men do that with women if she's attractive and such and so on and so forth. But overall, a man, the reason why so many women who are attractive aren't with a man is because those things don't hold a man, and women know it as well. Y'all know it too. Like, if it were all about a man just being attracted to a woman and that being all a man is concerned with, then why aren't these bad BITCHs, these bad women, these fine chicks with the BBLs and all of this, why don't they have husbands at the rate that some, BBWs are getting husbands, right? So that's just to discredit, to kind of, throw off the point that, oh, well, men just look at it like women look at women the same way. Not as much. But I don't think enough women know that sometimes because you pay enough. I got a coworker, right? And she has a bachelor's degree. She really wants a relationship. She wants a boyfriend. She talks to me about guys she's interested in at other jobs she works. Okay, great. But I'm asking her, like, hey, you're going back to school to get a law degree and you're going back to school for this and that. But, I asked, not offendingly, how does that help you get to what you seem to always talk about? Because you seem to talk more about a relationship that you desire, kids, and I think she's 29, 27 at the youngest. I don't, what I mean, coworker. So it's like, I don't know you like that, right? But anyway, so she's either 27 to 29, but yet in her, what she speaks to desire more is that relationship, that continuity, that family, all of those things. But yet, out of fear of actually facing rejection or hearing somebody say that, hey, they're not interested like you interested, or whatever the case may be, she's deciding to, hey, I'm gonna go back to school, right? And I asked her, well, how did that help you get the man? How did that help you have children? How did that help you have a family? And she's like, well, it doesn't, right? It doesn't really help me. It's just, I don't know. Like, I guess it's easier to do this. And that is why I said, hey, so it's easier. You feel like it's easier for you, but yet it won't really make you happy or give you peace, but yet you're going to pursue it anyway, knowing before you get into it that it's not going to really satisfy you or it's not going to fulfill you. And I thought, like, man, that's crazy. Because a lot of our people do that same thing and carry that same mindset. It's like we know the outcome before we do it, and we do it anyway just because, like, we would rather do this than the other thing that we really want because we can control this more. That was like deep to me. I was like, wow, because you see it every day. Black people, Spanish people, poor people, just in general, like this mindset of, I really want this, but I'm going to do this because this is easier for me. But this, I already know this really not going to satisfy me. I would rather have this, but I'm going to do this knowing I want this. But yeah, I can't control this. I can control this. So I'm going to live with this knowing it won't satisfy me or fulfill me instead of just going after this and letting the chips fall where they may. I'm one of those people. This is why I have a podcast, because I'm saying to myself, listen, I'm not I'm not Morris Chestnut. I'm not light skinned, wavy, like, all of these cats, right? But at the same time, I got something to say, and I feel like I got value. I'm gonna speak on what my mind tell me and where God direct me. So I'm here, right? I'm doing my thing. So I'm doing this because this is what will fulfill me, even if this is not as easy as this. Working 9 to 5, whatever the case. I know I'm getting off track, but what I'm saying is, in life we do that, right? We go after what's easier, knowing it won't fulfill us, and we just say, man, well, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. No, it ain't gonna be. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. You have a choice, free will. You have it. Anyway, a lot of ladies, y'all achieve your way out of the dating pool, especially the black dating pool, because you feel like you should meet me here. Ultimately, what you want a man to become isn't always what you want in a man. So you may, ladies, say you want a man to achieve this and make this amount of money, have your stuff together, like come build, come. No. How about we both say we're willing to work? We're both willing to mold to each other, right? We both will become soft clay to each other once we recognize that person is willing. Because you don't need somebody that's perfect. All you need somebody that is invested. All right, I'm going to say that again. You don't need somebody that's perfect. You just need somebody who's willing and invested, right? That should be the prerequisite. Hey, okay, well, this is what you want. I'm willing to give you that. I'm willing to invest in that. I'm willing to make these changes, all right? But that's only based upon your willingness and your ability to also say, okay, well, I'm going to do the same for you. that should be then what makes people say, okay, well, now based upon I'm seeing you making steps for me and changes for me, that makes me more willing to make changes for you. And then all of a sudden now we start to say, okay, well, this maybe could be something. Let's continue doing this until we actually cling to each other. But that's where I want to get to. This is why we're having this event, right? Because we got too much stuff pent up inside of us that we hold as actually toxins within ourselves. You know, you say detox. Sometimes we hold in toxins that are spiritual toxins or relational toxins that even though we feel like I'm here, I'm good. Like I'm waiting on is Brady to meet me here. You're not healed because in your mind you say I won't take less, knowing that what you saying as a prerequisite is really not. The money, the income, that ain't a prerequisite. You really want somebody invested in really that's really, that's going to give you what you feel you already give when you get in a relationship. We say we love hard, bro. So, okay. I think a lot of times women, when it comes to unknowingly achieve outside of the dating pool, right? The reason is because women believe high levels of success make you more attractive to men, but that's not true. You hear me and Pastor Doja talk about it a lot. Hey, listen, just because you have high levels of achievement doesn't make you attractive to men. So when you say, okay, well, listen, I'm going to school, I'm getting my degree, meet me at the top. Well, that don't make you attractive to us. Actually, that makes you more stubborn and resistant and less cooperative, right? Person got money, you really can't tell them nothing. And if they self-made, what you like, you see where I'm going with this, right? Like, if, you know what I'm saying? What they say, you got the big head. Look at you now, can't tell you nothing. Like you like Kanye. Oh, you can't tell me nothing. Point. Right? Right. A lot of times wealth will cover up the lack of relational success, which is why a lot of women achieve their way out of the dating pool, because that wealth, a lot of women feel like will cover up for my lack of relational success. So when I talked about how my coworker said she's going back to work because she can control this, but yet the relational success she can't control, is in her mind, it's almost like, well, the money will deal with that. What I feel like I gain out of getting my degree and getting into my field that I feel like is going to create me a better quality of life. Okay, like that will cover up for the fact that I'm not having success in relationships. And third, the reason why women unknowingly achieve your way out of the dating pool is a lot of women believe high levels of success create low. You don't know. A lot of ladies don't know high levels of success equate to and create low levels of submission and cooperation, what I just said. So for any man who a woman feels like hasn't accomplished as much as her, it's going to be hard for her to have total respect and yield to that man. Right? If she's self-made, lady, if you self-made, it's going to be hard for a man to say, okay, well, I think this is better. And you say, all right, babe, okay, we'll do that. Right? And even while some women will say, okay, I can do that, it's under a stipulation that's spoken that make it uneasy and make it, it makes it tough for a man to just be confident that he has your full support. Case in point, a man say, hey, baby, I feel like this is a better way to do something. I know some women that'll say, okay, we'll do that. But if it don't work, now that's a strike against your decision making. That's a strike against you because now you made a mistake. You said let's do this and it didn't work out. So now and now it's like women's like step aside, let me lead. Okay. In certain areas that works, but if that happens too often, it's going to be hard for a man to feel like he, like I said, has your full support, and women don't recognize it. And this is why a lot of women achieve their way out of the dating pool, right? So overall, compromising your standards could increase the number of suitable mates, right? Why is this important? It's only important because that's a phrase that's like, before I even finish that, as soon as I said compromising your standards, a lot of women are like, look, click off, swipe, right? But yet, when it comes to men, a lot of times we compromise our standards because what we feel is the best fit comes from the fact of quality of life, right? What that means is that some women look at the tangibles, and men look at and value women based upon the intangibles, right? And true indeed, the tangible could be physical, right? And that is one thing that holds a man, but it doesn't grip a man and keep him there, right? It can attract him, but it doesn't hold him. You see what I'm saying? You can be a magnet, but where the glue, where the hole, where the sticking, right? And the reason being is because overall, what a man is looking for in terms of the best fit are the intangibles. And so what a woman does is she looks at a man and says, I'm measuring your value off of the tangibles, what I see, what you can show, what you can produce, what you can document and retrieve as history, and like we call a Carfax on a dude, right? And so now we're saying, okay, as a man, he's looking at the fact: do I really get supported by this woman? Does she really have my back? Does she look out for me? Does she understand me? You understand? Does she arouse me? Is she a willing participant? Is it like, come on, right? And so men have no problem dating what women would consider dating down. That's a fact. What a lot of women would consider as, who is this like chick? Like, well, she ain't did nothing. She had, look at what she wearing. Look at what, she ain't got no brands on. She ain't got this on. Look at her hair. Look at the fact, like, she's not even built up. She hasn't even accomplished enough. Like, look at how she appears, right? And to a lot of women, a man choosing her, even if it's not over you, but a man choosing this particular woman in women's eyes is like he dating down. Like, she ain't nothing. But at the same time, this is why I state another fact that can be debated, but yet I'll stand on, is that when it comes to what women would believe as the sole attraction for men, that is absolutely not. Because if that be the case, then why are so many women who are attractive single? Right? Like, it's almost like an ugly dude can get a date faster than some of these fine women. Say I'm lying, right? Be quiet. This is my wife. So if it's like, okay, a fine woman can get a date, but she can't get a man to commit to her, but an ugly guy can date and get a woman to commit to him, what's going on here? I'm saying to myself, something. So what ends up happening is, ladies, it's not all about a man looking at a woman's physical and holding so much value on that he willing to do whatever. He don't care who he with, how many kids he got, what responsibility he has. Oh, here, look at that. Oh my God. Like, no. Right? And so what ends up happening is, a lot of times a woman in the relationship becomes unwilling to hear him out, unwilling to compromise, unwilling to do things that now seem to challenge her beliefs, challenge what she says, she's committed to. And it's like, well, how, like, come on now. Like, you may be able to hold me at a standard because you're keeping a standard. But if you're not keeping a standard, then how are you going to hold me to a commitment? You see what I'm saying? And that's what happens where you have these outside women, slip in the door. Why? Because again, you now look at some of the stuff that you might have done in the beginning as dating down. Women will change up. Hey, I'm a mother. Hey, we married now. Things are changing. So that means that all of that stuff I might have done before, like, don't expect me to do that on the regular. Maybe your birthday, whatever the case. You see how that works? But yet we have to hold a commitment, and a lot of men aren't strong enough to say, hey, I'm willing to just go through it and hold my head up and just, man, I'll just fight through it. And like, guys, like, man, listen, I'm gonna bow out. I'm gonna let you know that I can't do it. I can't do it. So call me what you want. Tell all your family and friends about me and how I'm not this, I'm not that. You thought I was this and I'm not. Like, oh, great, cool. But listen, I got to fall back. So, that's how that's going to work out. And so, end of the day, listen, one man or woman's trash is another man's treasure, right? So God may send you a soulmate in a package that challenges your list or your expectations, whatever you have as a standard to say, this is what I will not date below. And God may send you a soulmate that challenges that list, that challenges those expectations, and may make you say, okay, well, I may have I might have to revise my thinking on what I really value. Because myself, my wife, we have friends that they got married to a person that didn't fit what they felt like was their appetite, or didn't fit like what they thought was their attraction. But yet that person was exactly what they needed, and also has some things of what they wanted as well. But at the time, they were so consumed with what they wanted that they were lacking and missing what they actually needed. So that's all the reason why I said this. All right. Are you willing to date down? Are you willing to compromise your expectation? Are you willing to, be open to God sending you a person that will challenge your list and expectations? These are a lot of questions that, I hear that when I have conversations, when I have sessions and things of that nature, that we have to tap into. We have to uncover that. We got to dig a little bit deeper in that area and see what we come up with, because a lot of the times, that's what you're fighting against. Do I lower my standard? Do I lower my expectation? Do I allow this? Is this too much? Is this unacceptable? Is this unbearable? What will my family think of me? What will people around me think of me? How will the world at large view my decisions to be with this person? Right. Of course, nobody has those thoughts, because we all know what we want, and we never have any questions about, ourselves and our lives. What am I thinking, right? But I'm going to just venture to say that there's somebody out there that does have those thoughts and sometimes goes through those motions of, man, you know what? It's tough. And so now I'm going to have to see what I can make of what's out here, because people sometimes, hey, it ain't nothing out here but steady dating, steady seeing people. And I feel like, hey, that's what you got to do. But you ain't got to talk about it. If you're going to do it, be in it 10 toes. So, are you willing to date down? Are you willing to compromise that? That's what it's all. Remember, Friday, Battle of the Sexes, relationship debate. That's going to be at the place. We're going to be, got the address right there, 5111 North 22nd Street. If you're in that Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Largo, wherever you at, Hudson, even Orlando, wherever you at, man, you come through, man, Friday night, 8 p.m. We have a good time. We're going to share some topics, man. I'm going to tape the whole thing, put it on my podcast. And yeah, man, allow you guys to be a part of the whole show, man, because everybody been supporting me for so long. And so I love having these opportunities. And I know after we have them, everybody talks about how much fun they had just chopping it up, getting it off their chest. And ultimately, the biggest thing is gaining an understanding, because when people come as couples, what I see a lot of the times is they come, and when they leave, they seem to be like, have a refreshed vibe about themselves. They seem to be like, man, listen, that was just what we needed. This helped me, right? A lot of times the fellas tell me they was able to say things that they may not be able to say just in the confines of their own home. Now it's like you have that protection because you have people that share that same mindset and experience, and it's not in a place where you may feel like saying something would offend that person as much as it would just in the household, right? So all of those things allow for us to come together. There's too many things separating us, not enough things that are bringing us together. You know what I mean? What's going on, Wendell? Nah, I'm not going to live stream it, bro. It's going to be too hard to do that to get everybody, to get everybody's voice clearly. And if, depending on how many people show up, where the camera set up, listen, it's not a major production right now. God willing, it will be one day with your support, bro, because you're always showing love. But, I'm going to tape it via camera, break it down, edit it, put it out on the YouTube channel as opposed to live streaming. You know what I mean? So that's how we going to do. So like I said, if you want to come on out, man, and just, poke your head in and see what's going on, maybe, say a few words on a couple of the topics, man. I have a few people that's giving me some topics of discussion that, people want to talk about. So, if it's something that you want to chop it up on, or you hear a topic we discussing, you want to jump inside the mix, man, come on out. Like I said, man, let me go ahead and just put this up one more last time. 5111 North 22nd Street, Tampa, Florida, 33610. Battle of the Sexes, relationship debate, man. December 3rd, 8 p.m. Myself, Pastor Doja blessed me with the location, man, to be able to host this. It's not going to it's just like I say, we're going to have a good time, chop it up on some of these discussions. I want to have some little, little trivia games, maybe like a one-on-one debate, 90-second little speed round. Have us, as men and women kind of, judge who they side with, right? We have a topic. give you 90 seconds, let you spit your piece on what you feel as a man. Ladies, give you 90 seconds to be able to, say how you feel about the topic, and we'll decide who's right or who's wrong. These are the type of things, these exercises, these games, these ways of just, like I say, finding a way to understand each other better without it being a fight, an argument, or a misunderstanding. Like, these are the things that we need to do to reconnect. There's too many things separating us, not enough connecting us. So I'm out, man. Appreciate y'all love and support, man. Make sure, again, y'all go to YouTube, support the channel, man. Please show your love and support. Male Translations, you see it running across the bottom. You can support with the Cash App, or it costs you nothing to click. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know, man, it's tough out here. Inflation, gas going up, food going up, milk, everything going up. So I know it's tough financially. It costs you nothing, though, to click. So as much as we using our thumbs, just click that share button. Also, click that subscribe button if you are on YouTube, because right now I'm triple streaming Facebook, relationship healing page, my Facebook group Inside a Man's Mind, and on my YouTube channel right now, Male Translation. So you can catch this replay on either one of those three places. Show your love and support, man. Support the channel by subscribing and also hitting that notification bell. As I said, I drop videos every day. Comedy, insight, and honesty, male perspective on relationships, man. And we're just spitting the real and keeping it real. See y'all on Friday night, man. I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer, man. I'm about to get on up out of here right now. Y'all see me about to try to, pump some iron and hit these weights, right? Got to stay healthy, man, because of course, man, that's another thing that's killing us. If it ain't the relationships and, us doing each other foul, it's the food, it's the things that we eat. And so I'm just trying to be an example and inspiration, man. Of course, you think of me what you want, but my duty, my purpose is to inspire. So hopefully through just me doing these ventures, like I say, this podcast is not easy. I work a 9 to 5. That's my real life, right? But this is my passion. This is my purpose. This is my ministry, Male Translations, just be able to chop it up. So, this is what I do. And so with your love and support, man, things going to glow up. It's going to grow up. It's going to go up. And it's going to stay up there. So I see y'all on the other side. Holla at y'all, man. See y'all Friday night if you're going to slide out, man, to the Battle of the Sex or Relationship debate. And, we'll holla again, man. Deuces.